Hey, stop what you're doing right now. I got something to tell you about clogged arteries and arthritis that's going to knock your socks off. They've been lying to you, hiding the truth. So if anybody in your family has ever had a stent, or you know anybody who's ever had a stent, you've had anybody had to go in and get a balloon, all these little things going on in the heart, if you know somebody that's had hip and knee replacements, all those kind of things, yeah, I need you to pay attention. Set aside your public school training and get you some education right here. It turns out that there was this here old boy from the University of Loma Linda. His name was Dr. Lester Morrison, and through the 50s and 60s, all he did was study heart attacks. Why? Because his family suffered. His mom and dad both died of heart issues, and he wanted to know why. Well, he discovered in the 60s that natural molecules had a profound effect on reversing that. It took him until 1973 to get that published, but he got that published. And he published his conclusions that chondroitin sulfate reversed atherosclerotic plaques in the heart, and it prevented heart disease. But in 1973, it was published in volume 24, issue 5 of the Journal of Angiology. And he wasn't alone. He got support in this topic. Not in America. And not quickly. Yeah. See, about 50 years later, in 2021, there was a study done in Madrid, Spain, and it was a controlled study. And they produced their findings on this study that they did between 2002 and 2015. And they did it on over 3,700,000 people in this controlled study. And when they were done, they wrote the report. And they wrote their report that stated that osteoarthritis and cardiovascular diseases are in fact epidemiologically the same. Completely related. They said in both cases, it is from chronic low-grade infection, and in this report, they determined that sugar and carbohydrates was the cause of those chronic low-grade infections that plugged hearts, that plugged vessels, and caused arthritis. They proved that glucosamine, which is an amino sugar, and chondroitin sulfate, which is a sulfonated carbohydrate, that belongs to the glycosaminoglycan family, and that this is what the lining, the inner lining of your vessels, called the endothelium, the inner lining of the arteries, is made out of. And these are responsible for the buildup of the extracellular connective tissues. And this is what makes up the blood vessels' inner cellular lining, the endothelium. It's also what makes up all that cartilage, connective tissues in your joints. This is not a mere barrier that keeps blood away from the tissues of your body. No. It turns out that this endothelium is part of the endocrine system. You know, the endocrine system that makes all your hormones. Yeah, them two little nuggets on your kidneys, it's called your endocrine system. Well, it turns out that all this is part of one big system. It lines your vessels, capillaries, veins, arteries. It's in your joints. It's all part of the endocrine system. How come doctors don't tell people with clogged arteries that they potentially have damaged their endocrine system? I've never heard that once, ever in a study have I read that either. Anyway, so what happens is the chondroitin sulfate, which is a glycosaminoglycan, which is a glycocalax, which is a sugar coating, right? Lots of people know what that is. They just didn't know it because nobody told them. It's the slimy part on the fish. When you go fishing, you pull a fish up and you try to grab a hold of him, you hold the line, you grab the fish, he's slippery, he's slicker, he's got this slimy component to him. Yeah, that's that glycocalax. That's what lines your endothelium. That's what keeps your blood trucking on through your vessels without any friction. That slippery part on that fish is the exact same thing. It's the lubrication component. It's what keeps that blood flowing. Now, the study also concluded and noted that glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate reduced heart attacks in this study by 40% in that period of time. Has a doctor ever told you, hey, if you start taking these natural components, you can reverse this? You ever heard a doctor say that? I've never heard a doctor say that. I hope that by hearing this, you open your hearts to the fact that those that you love didn't have to suffer the way they suffered, and that the medical system has nothing to gain by telling you the truth. You must be your own best advocate. Please be your own best advocate. Won't you like, follow, and share this video? Get me 1 million hits on it, because everybody in this country has some form of arthritis, and a whole crap ton of them has got plugged vessels, stents, and had balloons run through their veins. This is the Farm Boy, and this site is Farm Boy Health for You, the number 4 and the letter U. I'm doing this work because not so long ago, I got diagnosed with lesions on my prostate. And I started with these 2 little products, and you can see them on farmboyhealth.com. With these 2 little products right here, I decided that food was God's medicine. I created the problem, and God's got the remedy.